Thank you so much, Raji. I'll take it forward from here.
Yes.
Warm welcome to our special speaker today for the She Elevates initiative. And a quick intro. We are the Real Women Global Community, Women in Construction. So we have like a big, congratulation of many women who are there as network of professionals, achievers. So we are present in 18 cities globally, and our network is growing by the day. Deepti, next. And this is our vision, mission, and values. Like our vision is to have this global community to encourage, empower, and enrich women in construction. Our mission is to promote higher engagement of women in construction and allied industry. Our values is based on the integrity, collaboration, commitment, respect, and encouragement. Our main objective is learning and development, creating opportunities, mentoring, collaborating and executing, and celebrating and recognizing women in construction. Next, please. And our founder and president of TRWGC is Shita Virka. She has also joined us here. She's also founder and CEO of UPSC MEP Consultancy. Thanks. We have founding circle members. They take care of multiple initiatives. So one such initiatives that we have today is the She Elevates. So Raji takes care of She Networks, She Elevates. Madhulika takes care of She Unwinds. Amita takes care of She Leads, She Guides. Parul takes care of She Inspires. Yogini takes care of She Builds. And Sonali takes care of She Explores. Next, please. So we have further some more core team and regional ambassadors who help out, reach out to multiple women in the construction field so that they are having the opportunity to get the benefits of this group. Next, please. Next, Kriti. Yeah, we have 8 new members joining us today. And post this session of She Elevates, we will have a short intro of each of those members across our community. Next, please. And we have She Guides Initiative. A little bit about our initiatives. She Guides Initiative. So next slide. So wherein we map one-on-one with a mentor and a mentee. And so we have successfully done wave 1, wave 2, wherein and we'll be launching another wave. So it's more of one-on-one interaction that we have with the mentees. Next, please. Then we have She Builds, and this is basically showcasing women in construction. So we next slide. So we have like videos and their works posted in social media, and we promote them very across our community. So this is one of the videos that we had recently posted, a day in the life of an MEP consultant featuring Sheetal. Next, She Unwinds, wherein this is more of a very informal get-together networking meet that we have, which are scheduled across cities, and then we share our insights. We discuss about who could join us and who could help us lift each other. So we have some fun sessions like recipe curation as well, and heritage walks and whatnot. So this is more a casual kind of a catch-up session. So we also post success stories, like these are our members who have got recognition in external forums. So we communicate that across us so that there is more visibility. That's when like the visibility actually makes us feel like, okay, there is something to look forward to, there is something to look up to. Next, please. So these are the membership benefits. You get access to all the recorded sessions, opportunity to publish your work in She Builds, and then business growth and job opportunity through networking, and the support network of powerful women in the industry. Basically, we have all the who's who in our community, and then an opportunity to join a mentorship program that is actually very unique, and a free or a discounted access to wide events like speaking events and things like that. So these we extend certain programs, we do it open for everybody, and certain programs are membership exclusive. So we get to have something for everyone here. So that's our cause and intent. Next, please. So we have close to 100 events across 18 cities with 9 partners. We have MOUs with leading organizations like Tata Projects, ISHRE, and WICCI, etc. So and this particular community is growing, and we will have more such partnership and more informative knowledge sharing sessions with everyone, like the one that we have today itself, She Elevates. So this is where we are now, She Elevates. And the topic today is how to price your services or products without underselling. So we have our esteemed guest, Mr. Hari Easwaran. So I would like to ask Ashwini to introduce him. Over to you, Ashwini.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavani. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to introduce a leader whose journey truly reflects evolution of modern India's built environment, Mr. Hari Easwaran Nair. With over 4 decades of leadership across real estate, infrastructure, and enterprise operation, Mr. Iyer has played a pivotal role in shaping large-scale developments across the country. He has overseen an impressive portfolio of 80 plus million square feet, delivering landmark projects including the Trump Towers, Medanta, the Medicity, major metro stations, national highways, and integrated townships. What distinguishes him is his end to end command of business, from strategy and investment evaluation to design, construction, commercial management, and customer delivery. He has consistently bridged vision with execution, ensuring projects are not just completed but delivered with lasting value. In his recent role as President Operations and Business Transformation at M3M India and Smart World Developers, he has led large portfolios with full P&L responsibility, driving operational excellence, digitization, and enterprise-wide transformation. Before his corporate journey, Mr. Iyer served the nation as colonel in the Indian Army Corps of Engineers, an experience that shaped his discipline, leadership ethos, and ability to perform under complexity and scale. He is widely respected for building high-performance organization, strengthening governance, and delivering sustainable business outcomes. His contributions have been recognized with several accolades, including the Executive of the Year 2025 by CEO Magazine Singapore. A thought leader, mentor, and industry speaker, he continues to influence the next generation of leaders while contributing meaningfully to the sector. Ladies, please join me in welcoming the leader who embodies experience, integrity, and executional excellence, Mr. Hari Easwaran Nair. Thank you.
So, good morning to all of you. And at the outset, I would like to thank Rajiv and Vijaya. This is at you, just got me here, very short notice, like she said. Now, this is the first time I'm addressing an all-woman group, and it's tough. So I'm reminded, I told Rajiv this thing. So I'm reminded of somebody who went to court when the jury was on. No? Nowadays, there's the judge and all. That time, there was a jury of 12 people. So he goes to court for a divorce, and he finds that the jury has got all 12 women. So he withdraws he withdraws his petition. So they ask him what happened. He says, I couldn't get past one. How can I get past 12? So Reggie assured me that there's no divorce going to happen here, and all the women will stay married until the time, I think, another 40 minutes or so. And she also gave me a warning. She said if it goes beyond 40, 45 minutes, there's a good chance of divorce. Because the attention span is that much only. Okay, great. So I have kind of made some 8-10 slides. Spaces are my exchange with Reggie and Vijay. Vijay is the person in the background who's got me here. I made some of my thoughts over the years, and basis, what you probably want me to pitch. At the end of which I think we'll take questions. My request is only when we take questions that please put your video on. So it helps me to kind of, orient with who's talking. Sure. Now, this is, I think, what you all basically wanted to pitch. What is the price important, your value important, and why is the intangible not getting recognized as the tangible? So the services, IT services, architect services, consultant services, they are all worldwide recognized as intangible services. So unless somebody is wearing your shoes or comes from your domain, they don't understand. So it's just everybody mostly looking at the value for the buck. Okay, so with this in mind, we just go ahead. As the initial primer, this is the initial primer. Please feel free in between also to ask. There's absolutely no problem. But I've made a flow for myself in case you're keen to ask. Purpose is very important of any organization, whether it is yours, whether it is these consultants, and anybody who's attending. For example, if I say the purpose of my company is to increase shareholder value, and I am in the business of making buildings, and it doesn't work, then at any one point of time, I should be able to change my business. I may start making shoes, but I will not lose sight of the purpose. So purpose is very, very critical. Now, I saw your vision mission statements. My request to you is make it a little measurable. The vision statement especially. If you make it measurable, you have to be a global community, say in 4 countries, 5 countries, Asia, etc. It becomes measurable, and what can be measured can be rewarded, actually. So even when we are looking down at the people whom we are trying to mentor, get into mentoring, if you make whatever you're doing measurable in life, and I say measurable, I will give you an example of a rocking horse. अपने बच्चों का होता है rocking horse, a wooden one. You put your child on that. whole day the child will be moving on that. So at the end of the day, I measure movement. The movement will be 100%. But if I measure displacement, it may be almost zero. So anything you do in life, make sure that your displacement is there. So we all get attracted by too much of movement. But if you see at the end of the day, the displacement is less. Now I'll give you the example of Ford Pinto. Now Ford entered the US with Pinto. It was a gas-driven car. And what happened is the gas tank, it took US by storm and actually captured the market. But what they found is over a couple of years, when there was an accident from the back, the entire car blew up and all the passengers got, charred beyond recognition. Then they pushed back and saw what was wrong with the design. Now, when they saw that the gas tank was very close to the dicky. It was not close to the back seat. So they then started inquiring through design research. Why didn't it go to behind the back seat? Why was it so close to the dicky? If anybody tapped it from the back, it burst into flames and everybody died. Now the interesting part comes. Then they went back, seized the servers, etc., went back to discussions that happened before the design was approved. It says that the design head said that we should push this gas tank behind the seat. Now the CFO and the CEO then opened a discussion saying, what does it cost? We want to take out X number of cars. What does it cost to push this gas tank there? And they said the value say X. Okay. Now he said over the last 3 years in America, how many accidents have happened? How much has the insurance company paid for death, for near death, and for the vehicle? Now, when they analyze these two figures, the cost to push the tank forward behind the seat was more. So he said, no problem, continue with this, we'll pay out that. Then the CEO was asked, what is this? He says, the business of my business is to do business. It is not to give empathy or, understand human lives. So purpose of your company is very important. And he got a lot of flack, went into jail. Okay, a lot of damage. But look at the concept. He says business of business is business. So are we all, kind of mortgaging our souls for money? Or are you leaving value at the end of the day? Now, you have a fantastic example. When I was with L&T, we wanted to, I'm not taking names, we wanted to onboard one of the best interior contractors to do a clubhouse for one of our iconic projects. I called him. He refused to come. He said, I can't come because you cannot pay me. So I said, no, you don't worry. The project is so good. We'll examine what is the gap and we'll see how to, bridge the gap. He said, no, sir, leave it. I don't want to come. But they asked me to call him. None of them called him because they already knew the reason. When he came finally, he said, I'm very grateful to L&T. I said, why? He said, 40 years back, I applied for the job of a foreman and I was rejected. And today, you people are calling me to do your iconic clubhouse. He never did the job because of the price. Okay. But what did he get respect for at the end of the day? Was his value, what he has delivered, how it has, gained traction. And he went from a foreman to there. So the sky is the limit. So to anybody, no matter how young you are, whatever, these are, classic examples by which you can actually think that the sky is the limit. Now, centipede, before I start the discussion, the centipede is again a classic example given across corporates. It says you have been given 2 years. So there is a capability of your even using it for cross ventilation. Taken through one and leave it to the other. But if you keep it in your brain, you're going to process it. So choose carefully what you're going to keep in your brain. Because 90% of probably what you should not keep, we keep it and then go back and forth. But as the story goes, he says the ant with 6 legs asked the spider, ask the spider, you got 8 legs, I got only 6. So when your 8th leg is going forward, what's the position of the 4th leg? And when your 4th leg is going forward, what's the position of the 1st leg? Now the spider gets confused. Does it never observe that? What do you do when you're confused? Toss the question. Then it sees a centipede. And sees the centipede has got 100 legs. So it asks a centipede, Arey boss, if your 97th leg is going forward, what's happening to the 87th leg? And 87th is backward, what's happening to the 65th? So he says, boss, listen, I'll answer tomorrow. And in its own time, when it's walking, it tries to understand, which leg is where. And in the process, starts tripping. So it tells the spider next day, hell to your question, let me walk. So learn this ability to process only what is good for you, including my presentation. So the presentation not good, hell to the presentation, continue. Okay, this is the outset I wanted to tell you. Now, tangible versus intangible. I don't know if you all heard of Mitas and Satyam. Mitas is Satyam spelled in the reverse order. Now, Satyam was one of the most outstanding IT companies. Okay, now what happens with real estate and IT or architects or consultants? Real estate, you can see the building grow physically. In case of IT, AI, what you're doing, it's just algorithm, token, or your ability to write programs in lesser lines. Similar is the work of an architect. Okay, so what happened is, long story short, he diverted all the money of Satyam, intangible money he got, into Metas. For a and kind of what most of these people do, where money is the prime mover. What do? They ring fence their own private wealth and let the company sink. Now, this is a question that we have asked, I have asked many times. COVID, post-COVID. Now, let me tell you, I have done infrastructure work, everything, maybe making an airport physically. Everything else I have done. I have dealt with all the consultants most of the consultants, say 80% of the consultants in the world, no matter which the domain. Now, we asked during COVID, what happened? You all started undercutting each other. So these are platforms that you should use to make a bench. To make a bench that you don't undercut. So when we go to trade, say for doing an iconic tower, we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 contractors. Now everybody doesn't come in tier 1. Say L&T comes, Shapurji comes. So we know when we are going to tier 1, this is the X price we are going to give additional. So we, in our pre-qualification itself, branch out tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Now what happened during COVID? During COVID, chips were down everywhere. So the big companies started quoting at tier 4 rates. Now the tier 4 guys went out of business at that time for a brief period. So this is just food for thought that, we are actually undercutting each other to begin with. Now, if I am getting two tier 1 people, one quoting 25 lakhs and one quoting 8 lakh, why will I not go as a developer or as an owner to the 8 lakh one? Then you say, no, you don't understand much, but you're undercutting each other at one point. Okay. Now, how do you make a differentiator? So after ERA came, it has kind of leveled up construction time. Because earlier what happened, if your project got delayed, vendors paid you say 25 rupees per square feet per month. But if you delayed payment of EMI, they started taking 18%, 24%. RERA has leveled that out. It says whatever you are going to pay to them, you will take from them. So time has gone out of the window because if I is going to delay, it's going to pay me that much. Now what is important is that being the case, we have to look for differentiators. So depending on which area you come from, you must be able to differentiate yourself in terms of your competition. First, this forum of yours, the Real Women for Real Estate, should kind of, address this issue, make sure that we don't undercut each other. If we don't undercut, we have no choice as a developer if you people don't undercut each other. But good people at tier 1 are undercutting each other for the work. Reasons, lack of measurable outcomes. Now, increased absorption. Everybody says, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. No, if a master of the concept consultant comes to us, okay, we know name-wise. If I go abroad, I know ki if I'm selling at say 20,000 rupees per square feet, I will be able to sell at 22,000 rupees per square feet. So that 2,000 per square feet on saleable area is what I'm going to gain. So I don't mind paying him 5% of that. Today, that's the mindset. It's the Indian mindset today. When you're doing master concept, get a foreign name. I worked with Hafiz contractor also. All of you know. Go to his building. He's maybe worth 1,000 crores, but he's still operating from the, a place in Bombay where if you climb to his office, you'll find that you may almost collapse because he's got those spiral staircase running. He said, no matter where I go, this is my roots. So I will keep this. And I'll try to make it as safe as possible. There is talent within. And now we are beginning to realize that. Okay, so now as a master and concept, somebody's talking, they can just, kind of unmute themselves. So he said now measurable outcomes, increase absorption. Like I am doing a 3-bedroom. We paid good amount to a master concept consultant who came and told us, don't do 3-bedroom. Today the market is for 2. It's for 2.5. Okay, increase absorption. Move this project. We had area land at 3 or 4 places. We said move this closer to the airport. Pitch on how close it is to the airport. So instead of saying how good I am in my work, start looking at it from the measurable outcome of a developer, owner, or whoever you have. Right? Now he says entrepreneurs, now all the people who come off colleges and all, we have about 400 of them. We had in the previous company. You can go and touch a button and you will get 6 designs separately. Now what we saw in that is that all these entrepreneurs have got superb ideas. But for example, I picked up these real life examples. They want larger balconies, more green space, eye-catching facade. Now they don't understand the interdependence on saleable area, increased structural costs, etc. So across consultants, there is an interdependence. So depending on which domain you are, you must understand these interdependencies, which actually in the end are going to impact money. Okay. Now this L1 reverse auction syndrome, I think I've already covered it. Now I've just broken it down for you all in different areas. So master structural interiors, MEP landscape. Okay. Now master may sellable, make it more sellable for me, make the absorption better, make sure I have no problems in approvals, help me in positioning my brand differently, and help me with your master concept so that I save infrastructure cost of construction. Okay. Structural, when we talk about structural consultants, make your design such that it facilitates easy construction. Now we all know the problem of labor, Narega, etc. And I am currently of Tamil Nadu making my house. There's so many freebies given to them that they don't want to come and work. Now, this is the India of tomorrow, 4-5 years. You see, the best minds look at things before they come. So start now thinking. We are also thinking of how do we automate, how do we get robotics into it. Painting has started happening through robotics. Okay, XYZ tiling has started happening. Now, flexibility in layouts, good, easy maintenance. I'm talking about the structural consultants. Okay, I'll share this presentation with you all. Now, you look at it should reduce construction cost and material consumption should be also in control. Biggest challenge is for interiors. Okay, most of the consultants who are today not hitting a wall are the interior consultants. Why? Now, I've been talking to a lot of them. Very few of them are doing design and build. Most of you say you don't want to design. You'll only design, you will not build. Okay, do this study of Mr. Siva Sankaran. He did an iconic, unique project in Chennai, which is going to take across the country. 1 bedroom, Singapore concept, 320 square feet. Today, 65% of India is below the age of 35. We better start understanding their language. If we don't understand their language, we'll push back. Okay, so he does 320 square feet. One room is a one room, one balcony, one bathroom. This same room, press a button, one wall drops as the dining table, goes back. Another wall drops as a bed, goes back. Another wall drops as a sofa set, goes back. Okay. Now he is made a model that this he will bring to metros because metro is going to give him traction. Then he's made either you buy or you rent. If you buy from me and your job changes, you go and sell with me here, buy there, or give it off rent here and go and take it there. What about other services? Now, in the basement around the complex, he's got the best hoteliers in Chennai. He's got the best dishwashers. Everything is now self-sustained around it. So you start thinking out of the box. The solution is very much in the box, but ability to think out of the box is important. Right? So interiors, design build. Why are people not going into design build? They are doing design. So how far can I understand your, you're not, it's not tangible, but how good you are. Now there are people, our pain point is what? I take the design from somebody, it cannot be executed. Or I don't find contractors to execute them. So start thinking in these lines. What do you think? You don't do it, you tie up. So tie up with the best guys. Now the guys who do make doors, they don't make the bolt. So we've been telling them, tie up with the bolt guys. Tie up with the handle guys. Tie up with the lock guys. Give me a product which is an end product. You start thinking differently. Okay. Now interiors, resale potential, life cycle costs, MEP. Now most of this group, what Rajesh shared with me was, there are a lot of HVAC consultants there. Now you move from operating, see, nobody wants to pay upfront capital cost. If you're going to tell me over 3 years horizon, my cost is going to, your capital cost is going to get absorbed. And start thinking of now operating cost, not capital cost. And how do you sell operating costs and what is your expertise in that? Okay, sustainability certifications, operating costs being lesser than capital costs on greenfield projects. This is where you should start thinking, less maintenance costs. Now, landscape consultants, first impressions are very important. They say first impression is a good impression, but it's not the only impression. The last impression probably is a lasting impression. Okay, perceived value, resident satisfaction, sales appeal, maintenance cost. So I just brought this down, this slide, and how can you reverse this reverse auction syndrome? First is don't undercut each other. You all are a big group, make it bigger. Okay, and then get this message across. If I have 10 people competing who are not going to go below, say, 5-7% of each other, you'll get your prize. Now, what is happening is good people are undercutting each other. Now we look at I believe and maintain. I was also driving IT in the company which I was working in. So we drove IT right from concept till delivery. Everything is a 360-degree integration, right from you conceive till you finish. Okay, so if you look at now how when I say A is the A component of AI is computer. I component will always remain with the human. Never lose sight of that. Never lose sight of that. Though there could be a time in 7 to 10 years when AI is going to drive AI with algorithm. You see what happened in Myanmar, etc. Zuckerberg, they were after him. He said, my algorithm is already. So what happened? I'll tell you briefly. In Myanmar, when the genocide happened, Facebook's algorithm read that keep people on the net even if negative information is being seen. So in Myanmar, they were talking everything. They were talking music, they were talking sport, they were talking of genocide, 5, 7, 10% of them. Now Facebook was only running for 3 or 4 days the negative information. And because of which there was a furor everywhere. Now when Zuckerberg was contacted, he says, my algorithm is out now, I can't change it. So the monster is already out. So algorithm is key. Now in area of master planning, medium impact as of now. Architecture, very, very high. We all understand architecture, structural are interconnected. Now, when we did project in Powai, everybody wanted a flat facing the Powai Lake. Everybody wanted a flat to see the sea. Now, it's impossible. The architecture will tell you, I want this. That's the price I need for. The structural guy will tell you, do that. My cost is going to go up 10x. So, what do we have? We have to have a thread running through all this. What is the developer doing or the owner doing? He's trying to get that thread right. So, architecture guy may feel shortchanged. Sometimes the structural guy may feel, but look at it from his point of view also. Now, MEP, very, very high. In fact, I'll tell you in MEP, I don't know why they clubbed this MEP because they are all specialist areas themselves. So this forum should actually ask them to segregate mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. There is no commonality in that, but I know how it has come under one umbrella. Now we learn, I'm telling you, across the board, we learn more from tier 1 vendors than our own in-house designers on MEP because it is moving so fast. It's like AI and IT. Every week you'll feel that. Now you see Cloud's reach today. I mean, last week it was not there. So we are chasing moving targets. There are no static targets anymore. Mind has to be open. You have to chase moving targets. Okay, landscape is again medium. Interiors is very, very high impact of AI. Like I said, when we sell projects, you come, go to a screen, touch the screen. It's got 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 4 bedroom. That's 4 bedroom. Okay, then it will give you budget. My budget for interiors is say 30 lakhs. That's 30 lakhs. It'll show you 5 designs. Okay, from 20 interior consultants who we had onboarded. Go and touch 2 bedroom, say the same thing. Now it is very, very high. You have to start adopting this very quickly. Like I said, a thought which comes before its time is worth its price in gold. If it comes after its time, it's of no use. Then you continue to remain mediocre. Okay, so market consulting is also very high. Now, international consultants and social media impact. Social media is a necessary evil, I call it. But the fact of the matter is that if you ask people today, how many friends do you have? Say, I got 3,000 friends on Facebook. How many real friends do you have? 1 or 2 who will come to you in times of distress. What's the point? But it is magic. You look at influencers, what they are doing. And most of us will laugh at it, but they're making their money from there. So you have to be on social media. There's no doubt about that. Point about international consultants. Like I told you, whenever we recruit them for that X amount that I'll be able to sell more, right? They are all struggling. I work with almost all the international consultants. They do not understand our geography, our language, our space. What they are looking for? They're looking for some associates in India. Okay, so very good. You should try this point. Is start associating with international consultants because they can't be with us all the time. Whether it's a corporate giant or a developer who is big, they want the consultants to be there present. Okay, international consultants, they cannot do. So most of them are looking for Indian associates. One of your targets should be to network these Indian associates with them, open offices in India, let them be their front office. And gradually, people will start understanding, yes, this group is doing better than them. Okay, gradually, you'll start getting recognition. It takes time. Right now, we come to structuring your contract. So when I say structuring your contract means, initially when I spoke to, I don't know whether they are on this group, I think I know most of about 10, 15 of you all already in some form or the other. Maybe one of you is my neighbor also in Powai, where I never lived in that house.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there she is. Yeah. So now the point is, Initially, when we did this consultant contracts, we used to call them engineer in charge contractor. All of them get offended. Hey, why do you call us contractor, engineer? We are consultant, we are architect consultants. Just leave those semantics. Come to the meat of it. Now, when you ask for a fee, right? Are you asking it on built-up area? Are you asking on saleable? Have you factored reduction in fungible? Have you factored reduction in non-saleable areas? Are your payments milestone based? Okay, these are the areas that you have to structure your contract. Moment I sign a contract, I know that they are not even bothered about this. They just want कि मेरे को काम दे दो बस. They are not bothered कि advance चाहिए नहीं चाहिए. Okay, so it's a mixed bag. From whatever I spoke earlier, the moment we see value in you, these are the things. The moment you start speaking, we will know that they are aware of all this. So you can't ride roughshod. Okay, now there's somebody who comes on a success fee model. Okay, and I've seen like there are I think 3 here who are children or grandchildren of the people I've interacted with. Now see, old time structural architect comes to my office, sits down, 75 years old. Sir, I want to get this done. He says, yaar, mere ko pehle dikhao pura. We'll spend 4 hours there just getting attracted and lost in the drawing. It's like somebody who likes reading. Reading it's like you, the reader and what is reading gets to one. It's like somebody who likes dancing. You say when you dance, when the dancer and the dance just becomes one, then actually you enjoy it. Now he just enjoys looking at those drawings, seeing how he can correct. Now his son comes in, 36 years old. So I said, okay, yaar, go and sit with your dad and see. No, don't worry. Aap idhar aa jao. Let's discuss what are you going to pay me for this. So he is actually not so. This generation, we have a generational issue here. Now he comes with a success fee model. He's an AI giant, okay, operates out of Dubai and US. He comes a success fee model. He says, you give me your drawings. He's got his own AI tool. Okay, he says, give me all your drawings. Within 1 week, I will value add for you. And if I value add for you, say 100 crore, you pay me 25 crores. He just comes, doesn't take money upfront. So today what's happened to him, because he's not taken money upfront, people are telling him that 100 crores I will get only when the project is complete. So let me wait till the project is complete, then I'll pay you. So he says, what is this environment in which I'm operating? So I said, change your success fee. To run your AI model, say, let's assume it takes 5 lakh rupees. You ask for 10 lakhs initially. Now he's moved to that. So somewhere learn to price your requirement so that at least you are at 5-10% profit all the time. Now duration in your contracts is vital. I don't know if you all know, there are settled Supreme Court judgments that my price is only valid for the duration. So if I am doing a consultancy contract for 2 years, the moment it goes to 2 years, 3 months, for whatever reason, I have a 3-month pro rata additional income. Now what happens? People don't want to confront. Only I don't want to confront. So all the big contractors, what do they do with us? 80-85% of the project, they are very at always kind of smiling. Yes sir, de do payment, de do. At 85%, they'll start throwing their teeth. These are my claims. You better address them, or I'm going to litigate. All the big guys are doing it. I'm not saying so. The consultant community is very averse to kind of confronting, and the Indian context is that you don't confront. Now, where the key here is, I'll tell you. Now, any payments that you receive or were supposed to receive, you're supposed to pay GST on that. Okay. So the moment you have raised an invoice, you pay the GST. Now, if you are raising the invoice as per the contract and you have paid the GST, now I am going to default on GST as an owner. Unless I can prove that I'm not supposed to have paid you, which is not the case. These 2 points are interconnected. So duration is vital. But don't look at a long-term duration. 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I've done contact with people who not bothered 7 years. It finished in 4 years, but the poor thing, they had nowhere to go. If you feel your services are going to finish in 2 years, depends. Master services finish in 6 months. Master consent. Okay. MEP may run through the project. Structural can finish. We did Burj Khalifa. As the thoughts are coming to mind, I tell you, they spent all the consultants 18 months before they put first brick to ground in Burj Khalifa. That's how they achieved it. What do? We first put the brick on the ground and then chase consultants, and then you're all chasing each other. Then you're doing R1, R2, R3, R4. You made the 5th revision, and my site is working on the 3rd revision because somewhere the handshaking has not happened. So these are areas of great concern. See, at the end, you have to wear the shoes of the developer or the promoter. He's seeing all this happening. How does it get corrected? I mean, we are the people who can correct it as a group once we have identified the problem. Now, number of iterations. Most of the consultants are suffering on this. So when people work with us, when I was with India's #1 corporate, They knew that the drawing will go past 4 people. It will go past the design head, it will go past the CEO, it will go to the MD office, and maybe 1 or 2 more people will see it, and there is a very good chance it's going to get changed again. This is by working knowledge. He says, I said minimum 4 iterations are going to happen, I know it. So you please factor my 4 iterations. 5th iteration you pay me. Okay, so he said, and immediately we laugh at. When I was with M3M, he said, I'm going to go past 6 iterations. 7th iteration you pay me, 6 I have factored in my cost. Now, when somebody is telling me I have factored 6 and I am the guy and design head or the procurement head or the CEO is approving it, I know this guy is talking sense because that's my pain point. Tomorrow I'm also going to be in some trouble if drawings are not delivered. So for that matter, you must have your teams who are also looking at the people involved. Corporate works differently. There may be 4, 5, 6 levels. Private developers work differently. Now, all those who have got one-off projects, and they're surviving on that, you work in adjacencies. Don't lose them. Let your name get circulated. Okay. Now, interdependency of consultants, somewhere I think this Real Women for Real Estate group needs to address this. It is one of the largest issues if you can address, apart from getting platforms to mentor, work around, talk, get together. This is one of the greatest. BIM. Now, if you look at BIM, when in India, I'm yet to see a consultant, whether he is a master, concept, structural, MVP, who's got in-house BIM ability. So BIM is something that is independent. Okay. Now, what do we wind up doing? We wind up with the structural guy, I got a different BIM guy. With the MEP, I got a different BIM guy. With architectural, maybe no BIM is required. But then down the line, I'm having different BIM agencies to work with different. So what's happening at the end of it? There is no handshaking at all. So in the last 2 companies I worked with, we had one BIM agency, knowing that none of them has a BIM ability. One BIM agency. We had people sitting in all these offices. The master, the concept, the structural, because he gets the early morning. He change ho raha hai. Otherwise, BIM has become a joke in India because what happens? You do BIM and there are so many changes. If you do work in Singapore, Dubai and all, they don't change. Once they freeze, they don't change. Once you don't change, everybody's happy. You deliver on time, consultants happy, contractors happy. Indian context, yet not there. Change is what they all think is their birthright. Okay, for whatever reason, maybe market movement, etc., etc. Okay, so this BIM interface must be one agency until you develop your own. So I was doing 8 years back, BIM, 1 rupee per square feet. But unworkable because he knew he's a specialist. That I will get attached here, I'll get 1 rupee. Now we are paying BIM 2.5 rupees. All the big guys are going to develop this ability in-house. Okay, once they develop this ability in-house, it's going to be difficult for you to catch up. So before they reach there, you reach there. Now your pitch. If you're looking at corporate, I said, you'll understand the structure. Okay, so if you have some smart cookies, see, if you want your cost, firstly, you have to be extrovert. If you're an introvert and you don't understand how, what is negotiation? So what is negotiation? I said, some of the examples we gave. So if somebody said, I am selling this to you for $100. Now I said, I will pay only $20. Now Indian context में we feel ashamed. यार 100 का 20 कैसे बोला यार? 100 का 80 बोलो, 85 बोलो, 90 बोलो. Negotiation is if you have the ability to say, I want $20, I'll pay 20. And then we start from there. There's one of India's leading company. I tell you, when people go to get work with them, as a strategy, they will call you at 10:30. They won't look at you at 4 o'clock, till 4 o'clock. Okay, in the last negotiation, they have called 3-4 people. They won't even look at you till 4 o'clock. As a strategy, you'll get tea, coffee, lunch, everything, but nobody will meet you also. 4 o'clock, they will come and say, okay, come, let's discuss. Boss, I need to close it today. Either it's yes or no. Now you'll come from it 100 to 50 because this is a negotiation strategy. So some of you people who are negotiating got to be extroverts. You've got to understand this. You've got to understand the human psyche. You've got to understand where others are working. What is your competition? It's not about how good you are. Who is the competition? Who are the other bidders? What are the chances that they will get it? Do I have a foothold already there? Somebody had a lift lobby with us in one of our major projects. Okay, she knew very clearly that she's got a foothold in the lift lobby. So we know her people are already there. And so when we do the club alongside, she'll have a handle in that. And she started quoting and kept the competition out. Because she was already sitting there. No, you have to spend some kind of amount in investment in people and funds to understand these things. It's a winner takes it all. Unfortunately, in Indian context, it's winner takes it all. It's not that, it's not sabka saath, sabka vikas. That's unfortunate. What people have asked me, about the L1 vendor syndrome, L1 syndrome. It is that now in corporate, you have to understand the structure and whom you are addressing, how many levels you have to go through. Don't waste your time at lower levels. Establish connect at who matters, who's going to finally approve. In owners, it is ego and personal predilections. Simple. Like I can tell you, if you go and pitch with this owner, I worked at some 7, 8 companies. This owner, you go and pitch, you do a gold and chrome, okay, pitch, 90% you'll get it. Now people go there for 6 months, 8 months, still now they have not understood. You go and see the corporate office, you go and see any of the lobbies, you go and see the 10 building commercial, you'll see the flavor there. So once you have understood that, fit your requirement to his shoes. Right now, if you're going to private builders, most of them must be having 1 project, 2 project. Now you establish a personal contact, expand in adjacencies. He knows, he'll never will know, and gradually come up to number 1. That is corporate oblique only. Right now, my pitch is over. And I don't know how much time I've taken. I think that you have done well. You started at 10:10. It's I think 55 now. So exactly 45 minutes. Now anything under the sun, not limited to the session.
That was a good one. I think we had a list of questions also that we had kind of shared with you. I'll just quickly check if any of the questions are still not addressed, and if anybody has any other queries, also let us know. So,
Yeah, so Reggie, I
just
have
to
seen all your questions and I pitched my presentation to address all of them.
okay, so
If there is somebody who's got still something, please feel free to ask.
sure. So there was something about, there are many of us who also sell certain products, not just a service. Okay, so what you said today was about related to service, which is intangible. And we got perfectly, I mean, I would summarize, of course, and tell you like what is the value that you're bringing to the other person sitting on the other side of the table matters. But when it comes to products, many times you get the query like, why is it so high? Why can't you deliver tomorrow? And things like that, which happens. So then, does the same principle apply for products also?
See, products, I'll tell you differently now. It is differentiation. First is how's your product different? Okay, that's
Okay.
scalability. For example, I'll tell you Philips. In Philips now, the Philips product, okay, which you were seeing until last year, Philips has kind of fallen out with that company, which was their number 1 company making the product. Okay, and selling as Philips. Now he has fallen out with Philips. They are Noida-based company. It's a 1,000 crore company. Okay, so they invited me to see the company, and he's now going to sell on his own name.
Okay.
Right? It's the Philips product. Whatever Philips was selling, he's going to sell. He says, I can price it better for you because at times Philips used to tell me, reduce this, reduce that, but I will not compromise quality. What I deliver is better. Now he's looking for market reach to understand his product. A product which was already being used for decades. Okay, he's ready to offer something better than that, but he requires that. So that is information. How you sell your product is also an art. And one word, if you can remember, it is differentiator. How is it different? There are so many level playing products in the market. Now, one of your rules also should be advisory. Like, for example, if we do a eight tier, like I said, divide contractors or consultants or products also in A, B, C, D. When I approve makes, okay, so now let me give you the right answer. So when I approve makes for a particular contract or a tender, let's assume I'm doing Trump Town, and I approve makes which are in tier 1, 5, and tier 3, 1. Obviously, the tier 3 guy is going to win.
Yeah.
Obvious. So sometimes they orchestrate it. Take a close look at the makes which have been approved. If there's a mixture of tiers, please inform the powers to be. It may not be the guy who's made the tender. Okay, inform the powers to be about there's a mismatch here. If you're doing tier 3, give call only tier 3. Put in tier 2, call tier 2. Maybe 1 hour halka sa overlap. But not that I'm doing 4 tier 1 and 1 tier 3. Tier 1 will keep crying all his life. He'll never get it. So he come and make us alive to it. He said, if you want this tier 3 thing, you tell me, I'll give it to you, but don't add tier 3 there.
Okay.
But then I'm going to get priced down. Okay, one is how good your product is. Second is in what tier are you falling when they are calling quotes.
That was a very valid point because that answers this other question when the client says your fee is high or can you match it to the competitor? I think the same thing comes up. You'll have to ask who's the competitor. Are we on the same tier? It should be
Absolutely
apples to
right.
apple kind of a thing. Okay.
Absolutely right. It has to be apple to apple. Okay, they could.
Yes.
I could cross the boundary a little bit, but not across. So sometimes they structure the contracts in such a way that only one guy will get it. Though on the face of it, you'll see that it's open. 8 people have been called. No. So when you're seeing the approved makes, please see it with a microscope.
Okay. Then there was a question that says, instead of reducing price, is there any other alternative we can offer for a win-win situation?
Give me an example.
Like you go for a coin, can you reduce your price? Your fee is too high for us. So if somebody comes up with that and you know that money is needed, that amount is absolutely correct for this project for you to be able to deliver. So what else can we kind of compromise on so that we can still get the project and it doesn't
Yeah.
hit your margins?
Yeah. So I have addressed this in many ways, in terms of people undercutting each other, product
Okay.
not being seen. Now also you can do like duration. You change one of the thing, challenge the others. If you find that your competitor there's a 3-year contract, okay, your competitor cannot keep the price alive for 5 years. You say I'm willing to keep it for 5.
Okay.
There are wheels within wheels. You have to study your competition also. Some of
Hmm.
them are barred. Like if there are companies I know that he said, no, 3-year guy, I will not do even 3 year one day. Because I'm answerable to my risk committee, I'm answerable to the CFO. So that inside working of how the company, now you there pitch this 3 I'm opening to 5. Now it has to be tabled. You see, if all these people, big guys who are making decisions, they are making decisions which everything has come on file. Then he's justifying whether I get X, Y, or Z. It is not something one-on-one, when you're going to good corporates and good developers, everything that you are bidding is going on the file. And then somebody is justifying. So one of the two, you scale up, scale down. I mean, that's the trick of the trade.
Right. So you pretty much just pitch what you think you have that others don't have, just so that you get that wriggling in,
And
basically.
one slide I showed, everybody says, I'm good, I'll give you the best, I'll give you the best. But look at it from their point of view. So there I broke it up, master, structural, MEP. What can you show apart from your price? That slide which I flashed was very important.
Okay.
Start thinking like that. Don't even talk to me price. You talk to me those things. I'm doing a 3-bedroom. You are telling me as a concept concept planner, your 3-bedroom is not going to sell because X, Y, Z have not sold 3-bedroom in this geography in the last 3 years.
Okay.
Now you wake me up. I'll go to you. You say sell 2.5, sell 2. Now I'm not worried about your price because you brought something to the table because of which I'm going to sell.
Okay. Got what you're saying. There was another very nice question where people are saying, what pricing mechanism can we use to protect against inflation, salary increase, software increases? And now with AI, we all are ending up buying too many softwares which are expensive, and clients don't seem to understand and pay for that. So, what pricing mechanism can we use to protect against all these things?
The question is good. I tell you, the question is good. So what happens is when you do a negotiation, okay, nobody asks you for your breakdown costs. Nobody asks. Today they are not priced. So you tell them, make it equal to all, break down our costs. Why have I quoted so much? And map it with the competition and call your tender in this manner. The cost of software is this, cost of manpower is this. These are the kind of people I'm going to have on the project. Okay, this is the time, cost of time is this. So if I just tell you, provide me services, give me drawings in 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. So everything else is left to your imagination and my imagination.
Right.
So devil is in the detail of what you're saying, right? How do I price AI? How is your product AI better than, like I said earlier, somebody who wrote software in 6 lines got paid more than somebody who wrote in 15 lines. Okay, so we said, okay, your program is how much? 6 lines, your program 15 lines, we'll pay you more. Break down your costs, make the industry aware of your costs.
Okay.
As long as there's no personal connect and because of your connect with me, I'm paying you 20% more, then I'll never tell the world that. But come to an area where you break down your costs beyond what I'm asking you and tell them, put it in the tender. Let everybody quote for manpower, for AI, model, IT services, duration, break it down.
Okay. Okay, so I think on this one, the question that I sent pretty much, I understand that part, but is there any way to calculate against inflation for the next 2, 3 years? Like you said, you have a contract, say 2 years. And if it goes beyond 2 years, say it goes to next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, is there any kind of a number that comes to your mind with your experience that one should?
Of course. They are not one number. There are thousands of contracts that have been settled by courts also. So the RBI publishes what is called as a wholesale price index.
Acha.
Okay, the RBI publishes month on month. If you go to the Economic Advisor of India's website, you will get month on month wholesale price index variation.
Okay.
Similarly, you will get all variations. Now the challenge is when he says wholesale price index variation, he may show variation month on month or month on month if you go into the year about 5 or 6%. But actually I am suffering about 10%. So they have understood now that it is not on wholesale price index, it's on retail price index. Okay, so if you go to the economic advisors portal, and these are settled in law, that this is the amount that you need to pay year on year beyond your contract year. Now, if I say 3 years, you are supposed to have factored all this in your 3-year quote. Within 3 years, you can't come to me. Nobody will help.
Yes, correct.
Outside 3 years, you can come to me.
Correct.
So what happens when you agree to 3 years, make sure that you're not, some of the consultants agree to 5 years, 6 years, open-ended, because I need the work. So for 6 years, you can't then ask me for anything.
Correct.
And the RBI's, the Economic Advisors website is very educative. It publishes month on month. Like it's published, like it's say 100, it will show you in point wise. 100 this month, next month 102. That means 2% has gone up. Next month it will show you 101.5. Okay, so that is a very good tool that people take to get inflation and justify inflation.
Okay. So retail price index by the RBI.
As against wholesale price index which they publish.
Okay.
I have one follow-up on this particular question. So assuming that we have served our time period as per the contract agreement with the employer, and we are now exceeding the time period, our deliverables are still not delivered. Say, for instance, we said in 3 years' time, we deliver, say, 100% of design. And for whatsoever reason, due to lack of decisions or the slow moving of the project, the 100% delivery doesn't happen within the 3 years. Are we entitled for any fee revision when it exceeds beyond 3 years, even though our services are, as per contract, not done?
Of course you are, without a doubt of doubt. Now for that, what is the most important, which most of you all fail, is documentation.
Correct.
Okay, documentation. So, you know what we used to do, supposing as contractors, I worked as contractor, I worked as employer, I worked corporate also, everything. As contractors, what we used to do, suppose we receive drawing from the employer. Okay, so generally, classically, what it says is that before I go to construct, 45 days before that, I should have received my good for construction drawing. This is industry practice. Okay, today it's come to 30. Now this guy has given me the drawing itself 4 months late. I just write a letter to him. Thank you, sir. I have received your drawing. Very kind of you. On so and so day. Okay, now that documents the fact that he gave it to me 2 months late. But he's very happy. I told him thank you. So at the end of the contract, these are the small documents that can help you go and negotiate. I'm not telling you go and fight. Go and negotiate, because the truth is not known to the higher ups. Understand? These are this is the drawing I received, this is what I received, this is what I received. They are not given it to me. Now, second important thing is at the time when the period is over, okay, they will make you write a letter requesting for extension of time. They won't give extension of time on their own. If they give an extension of time on their own, it means you have a de facto case for getting a high increased price. So they will make you write, please request, I request for extension of time of 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. In that, you make sure all these references are there. Of what happened, how it, so the interdependence, how it didn't happen. So many things come in. Like in NCR, there is GRAP. Okay, now one point about rainfall. Suppose rainfall is every year when you quote for a time, you can't say that it rains happened. So the rule on rainfall is if it is unprecedented means what? If you take up the Met data, last 10 years average, if the rainfall on that particular year has beaten that, then it is unprecedented. Not is unprecedented because I know English. So this is settled in law. Unprecedented rainfall means last 10 years average, it has exceeded that.
Say, assuming that the client does not ask for an EOT from your end, and you know that the time period is exceeding and you will be continuing the services. At that time, do we also write or intimate a letter that our contract tenure, what was agreed is 3 years? How do we do it in a polished way? Like how you said cleverly that I got the input, thank you, karke one letter. Like, is there any way to record that in a non-confrontational manner?
True. So I'll tell you what. Now, please understand the contract is valid in law only till the period it is defined and signed. If the contract is extending beyond that, this contract is dead. So it is incumbent on the owner to increase the time. Okay. So sometimes they will say we are increasing your time only to make payment. So instead of their asking you, you would highlight to them 60 days before, okay, this contract with validity is so and so, so and so. So this, we are looking forward to an extension of time at these rates. at say 5% more or 10%, let him reduce it, no problem. You be proactive. Nothing prevents you from being proactive. But understand, in law, the contract is only valid for its period. Beyond the period, you have no lien on anything. So we continue to operate and continue to get paid. You get what I'm saying? The contract sanctity of the period is vital in law. Beyond that, there's no action supposed to happen till it is extended. No matter whose fault it is. Please understand this. So politely, you can, important is keep your documentation going right. I use the GST angle only to say, but none of the consultant, none of the contractor want to confront. बोला confront करेगा तो market पता चल जाएगा तो confront करता है. जो काम मत दो यार. Better to go to somebody else. समझे? तो you lose work. Nobody wants to lose work. But at the same time, you want to get respectability also. So somebody must know that you know. I'm not saying arm twist, but at least politely keep the record right.
I think valid point, because many people tend to move on WhatsApp for every communication, and I don't think that's the right way to do it. We keep most of the things on email so that you have proof as well to take it up later. There was one question here, Hari. Yogini has...
So IT Act says that any means of communication is valid.
Okay. But they can delete it also, no, Hari?
That's true. So even mails, for example, even mails when you send, it is settled in law. Now I sent you 5 mails today, okay? In which one mail I asked for 10% more. These are all settled in court, okay? Now we went to court. Now you go and tell the courts, sir, that day I got 5 mails from him. I don't understand which one he's talking about. I say the one I sent you at 2:10. Now, because of server thing, the one I sent at 2:10 was received by you at 2:12. Okay, so there's a mismatch there. Second, now you show that, sir, you look at this mail, I got garbled numbers. They are unrecognizable figures. It was some spam. So I don't know. So anything, even mail. So you're right. Though it says it can be recognized, very quickly reduce to writing through a letter. Okay. Anything that is related to finance or time. So you can say, when you write a letter, say after 6 months, refer to 6 mails of yours which were sent on the same subject. References mein upar, A, B, C, D, E, F. Make it very polite. References A, B, C, D, F. Refer to all that. Now you have sent him this letter, 2-line letter. Thank you very much for whatever. Now that becomes legitimate. Actually, if he has not received those mails, he's supposed to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So these are, these are guard you. It's like counter measure.
There's one question from Yogini, and many of them have been asking this. With our major competitors being international consultants, apart from collaboration, what other factors can we do to get an upper hand on projects from concept?
Nothing but delivery. Get recognized. Use all what I've said in the presentation. And there's a time which comes to get for a child to be born, it takes 9 months. Current youth wants it should be born in 1 month. Nahi hoga. Like my mother used to make dosa, she used to start on Friday with that big article and all. And then you have to go, I used to grind. Then Saturday she'll put some dal. Then Sunday she'll make wonderful dosa. Today it is, my wife says, go and get it off the market. Get it on the shelf. So somewhere we have to find the sweet spot between these two. You can't, my reading in life is you cannot keep a good man or a good woman down for long. Very quickly, everybody comes to know that there is value here. Trust me, there are Indian master concept consultants we have now started taking beyond. So they have established a name in India also. See, ultimately, the proof of whatever we are doing, like I said, coming back to the first point, what is my purpose? Is my purpose to deliver better product at a lesser cost? So I will not lose sight of both of them. Somewhere we have to, not wait for too many quick wins and struggle it out. But I'm sure you cannot keep a good man or a good woman down if they have essence.
Raji, there is a question from Swati, mainly in this.
Yes, she's saying, yeah, go for it, Vijay.
Yeah, mainly in this male-dominated MEPF field, what can be a USP for the people who are employed and want to reach leadership roles?
Yeah, it's a very good question. But unfortunately, here today, I'm in the minority also male-dominated. I'm a one-man standing here. So I'll tell you, we did this study about 10 years, 12 years back. There was less than 1% of the civil engineer women on the site. Okay. Now so how do we address it? You have to address it, by society, what woman is doing. Which is my private reading that I had teams of, with more than 50% women were there. And they're doing much better than the men. And everybody's alive to that today. You just have to brush shoulders. You look at the army also. There are commanding officers who are colonels now. The Air Force officers who are pilots. So I don't think the comparison works anymore. And it is not one size fits all. What One woman who can go and profit out on the site in MEP can do may not be what all women can do. Okay, but surely this gap is now being, and very quickly be 30% plus reservation coming in parliament. We are alive to this fact that women today are outperforming men in the workplace.
Mm.
In the sites, I may not say the same thing because so many women are not getting exposed to the site for various reasons. But MEP being a specialist area, I'm sure you going to get a look in much earlier than maybe standing on the site and building a building. I'm just saying go for it because we are alive to it. You all may not be alive to it, but we are alive to it, and there is no differentiator there.
If there are no other questions, is there any other questions? I think sir is also running against time. If no other questions, I just would like to do the vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
Before you do that, I just want to give you 1-2 minute real life incident which happened. I must leave you with all of this because whenever I meet people, I just look. I may not have all the qualities. So whenever you look at any human being, you just see what addition God has given them, then they are given you. I think the world will be a beautiful place to live. So this exactly happened, and there was a defense minister's dinner in Pune somewhere in the 80s. And there were about 400 people attending that dinner. And it was like a huge dormitory. And on both sides, it had doors through which waiters would enter. So before the dinner started, so the administration head was called and asked, if the light goes, what happens? So he said, sir, we have got a backup generator. He said, how much time the generator will come on? He said, generator will come on in 3 minutes. Because there was that, nowadays you have that AMF panel, because it cuts within the same sinusoidal wave. That time it was not there. So he says, what happens if the generator also doesn't start? So then we got backup generator that take another 4 minutes. So he said, no, you prepare in case the light goes within 30 seconds from every alternate door. One waiter will enter with a lit candle. Prepare for it. And number of waiters you want, I will give you. Candles you want, practice you want, do it. Period. This is what is going to happen. Cut to the dinner. Dinner started at 8. At 8:15, light went. Within 20 seconds flat, from every alternate door, one waiter entered with a lit candle. And they had a candlelight dinner for 7 minutes. Then the light came on. Now, next day after he left, there was an award ceremony. So the boss calls out the administration head and tells him, presence of 500 people. See, I want to award you because you made a phenomenally good job. But let me take 30% of the credit also because I actually foresaw that the light may go. So thank you very much. Then he took the award and then he said, I want to speak, sir. So they made him speak. So he said, sir, the truth of the matter is because you made me practice so much, at that time I put off the mains. So this ability to put off the mains in all of you should be there. If you have done so much good work, put off the mains, get the candle in. Okay, I just leave you with these thoughts.
Fabulous. That was a really super one. Just to quickly wind up of some of the things you said and which should be a takeaway is ask what value you're bringing to the person on the other side of the table so he values you more. And you have a clear purpose so you know exactly what you're gunning for. You want to make money, you want to make a legacy, you want to leave a name, whatever it is, but it's yours. And like you said, the business of business is making business. That was another thing that stuck to me. And measurable outcomes, whether it's a vision, whether it's a value that you offer, whatever you do should be measurable. And everybody was talking about this international consultants and stuff. I think many of these are very valid to that. If you're able to give a measurable outcome like extra revisions or being there on site for them and things that they can't do, you will have an upper edge. So thank you so much for your time today and your insights. It was a fabulous session. We've learned a lot, including negotiation, contracts, and things to watch out for.